What is up? Mr. America here. I'm gonna share some thoughts real quick because we got some things to discuss. If you look at the date, it is the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, and I hope you go have a good day. We'll see what happens. It's up to you. But, I want to share some thoughts. If, if you were to have, do you have everything or do you have something? If you were to have something or nothing, what would you have? You're always going to have your heart, people. You're always going to have your heart. And even if you were to have something or nothing, you're going to have your heart. And your heart is going to be filled with the things that you've done and the things that you're going to do. It's filled with all your capabilities and all of your things. You're going to be spending Christmas with your heart, and you're going to be spending the rest of your life with your heart. And your heart is basically hit with all of the things that you're doing. Everything that you do, it's going to come back. It's going to have that toll on the heart. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's there. So, this is the season, but what's the reason for the season? So, I want to show you all this image. I'm sure you've seen it before. If you haven't, you probably have if you're celebrating this great holiday. And if you're not celebrating this holiday, well, it's a little learning experience. This is history right here. Beautiful history. The nativity scene, the birth of Christ. Is your heart prepared for the birth of Christ? Because during those times before, everyone had to prepare for that birth. It was a big time. And some people didn't even want him to be born because they knew it would be bad. Like, I was reading about Herod, he tried to kill a bunch of the newborns because they did not want the Christ or the Lord. But it's there. You got to prepare your heart for Christ. Even though the birth happened already, the birth needs to happen in our heart. So prepare your hearts for it. In secular society, which is, a lot of things we live, we're celebrating the tree, we're celebrating the gifts. I can't wait to get this or that. I'll show you. I got the CD player right here from a few years ago. Got the CD player. People get their gifts, but the thing is, that secular ideas of materialism. You can't be with this materialism because when you die, you're not gonna take a CD player with you to the wherever you go. You're dead. But what you are taking is your heart, your soul. So with that in mind, what are you taking with you? This is some short thoughts I want to let out, just so you can sort of analyze what are you taking with you. Wherever you go, your heart is going. So what's in there? How are you going to change it? How are you going to fix it? And on this season of Christmas and on the future Christmas, are you ready to live this out in your heart? You have to live out the scene. That's what you got to do. That's what the season's for. Spend it with our families, our friends, get the delicious food. Some people, maybe they don't celebrate, or maybe they're not fortunate enough to celebrate as plentifully as others, but you need to let that scene live in your heart because that's the reason for the season, and you gotta get your hearts ready for it. It's beautiful. They were born for you. This is all for your salvation, for your sake. This is born for you. And I'm not trying to sound like all those, cheesy, preachers. This is about your salvation. You gotta pay so you can hear me teach you about your salvation. No, tell you as it is. What you do with your heart is up to you, but you cannot play with this. This is no joke. You don't have to turn now or later, but you gotta turn soon. And this is the season. You gotta remember the reason. You're gonna celebrate the season without caring about the reason or doing it because you're forced to. You're not gonna find that true fulfillment. But through testimonies, when people celebrate the reason and they let the reason live in their heart and they're constantly nourishing it, They're more at peace with themselves and their lives are more fulfilled. So allow yourself to let your heart grow. Allow yourself to let these things live in your heart. Let the reason for the season live in your heart. Let God plant the seeds in your heart. Allow yourself, but you need to put yourself out there first. You need to build that personal connection to God. Just put yourself out there. You don't have to see for Him to exist. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So put yourself out there. This is Mr. America. God bless America and God bless you and your families. Go have a good holiday. I don't know.